Welcome back to Saga of Three Kings. It's session 86, titled Bastion of Broken Claws. Last session was titled Blackheart Bastion, which more is just kind of a generic term for what they're seeking. They kind of have an idea of what it looks like now. They haven't fully approached or entered it yet. But as we discussed last session, their plan was to backtrack a bit away from it now that they know precisely where it's basically at, and then teleport away to a place of safety, which again we are currently in the throes of discussing. And I will go ahead and just deposit it back to the party and that discussion. Yeah, go nuts.
Silence.
Oh.
The best kind of discussion.
So it's that we're all having a staring contest. So
Yeah.
We want a long rest somewhere, yes?
I'm gonna
Yes,
be honest,
definitely.
on staring contest. I'm gonna put my money on Raya. Just real talk. Like, he's an elf.
Yeah.
Perception, and he's 1,000,000 years old. Or he can live 1,000,000 years old. He's only lived like 4.
Doesn't mean his eyes
Not
will
even
dry
4.
out.
Like a couple months. This guy is he's got eternity ahead of him.
Bet on
You're
Ryan because he'll
muted.
cheat and blow in someone's eyes.
Am I muted?
You're good now.
You're good now.
He's fresh.
Yeah, he's a fresh lad. But yeah. Oh, I want to point out something hilarious. In another chat, the joke around the Tuesday game is they have one brain cell amongst them, and so often they can like shift it to one person who gets to be the person who works the brain cell. The Friday group's joke is they have one moral cell that they focus on, and that person gets to be the moral leader of the party, and it shifts around the group. And they said that this party, that group said that this party seems to be the smartest of the parties. I'm like, but absolutely not the moral.
Yeah, that's probably right.
No.
We're pretty clever.
Pretty cunning, but absolutely self-serving. We love to. Oh, the Grok is sad now. Today, he's not that Grok. That's a different Grok.
I've been that grok for a long time. I might have strayed off just mildly.
Fair. Anyways, again, leave the table back to you on your decision on how you're going to go about the next steps in your life.
Yeah, Bitson's got it in him. I think our best option is to teleport to Bonrock,
Okay.
spend the night, get some stuff prepared, and then, if you're willing, we can windwalk back to Armskirk.
Okay. Yeah, Armskirk, you're right.
Okay.
So
It looks the type is really tiny on it. It says like Arms Dirk or something.
You can zoom in.
Couldn't read it.
So the teleportation method back to Bonrock will be teleportation circle cast by Benson to get there, right?
That's
fine.
Okay.
If you could lead that with sending, because they asked you to give them a heads up before we go. Last time we were
Good
there.
call.
Oh, Bodrock.
Okay. Yeah, good memory.
I'm unprepared.
And I believe I set the music to be for that because that's what based on discussion, that's what I thought was going to be the lead argument there. So you teleport back into the sanctum of the Dwarven Artificers, more than ready for you, and they acknowledge you. Platitudes are thrown out. And they do mention to Master Benson that they have sent their representative, the mage who will be taking up the position. As last time you were here, that was discussed. And I believe I gave you the name already, right?
You said there was one that was promising, but you didn't say it was exactly him yet.
Oh, I didn't give you a name yet?
No.
I don't think it was done.
Okay. Yeah, so his name was Carrick. What's his family name? Yeah, right. Blackgavel.
I'll let them know that he's on his way. When should he arrive?
He made his way by foot. He wanted to see the service, so he is traveling on his own. He is of the Duergar peoples, and he should be arriving, I assume, no more than a month's time. Well before your slated start time for your school to begin.
Very good then. Very good. I'll send word and let them know to expect him and have a room ready for him.
Very good. Yeah, and they will explain to you that that they have gone through the process of preparing the destruction of Black Racer. They have not started that process because, unfortunately, they are waiting for a representative from the capital of the dwarves, the city of Greysword, to actually come and attend the destruction.
Neat.
Seems reasonable. Any updates on my my wares I left with you?
Completely ready.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I will
Everything that you left
collect
for
those soon.
everything that you left for repairs here, you can go ahead and just re-add it to your character sheet.
If anybody is in need of a short sword, I have some loaners. One of the two of them is attunement.
Yeah. So the the sword shatter spike doesn't require attunement, and I've already applied the statistical benefits there to Brooklyn. You're wearing that on your belt.
Yep.
The dwarf will say, "I just suppose it's the company that you keep, but you keep on coming about mythical swords." He gestures towards Brooklyn's belt.
Yeah, I'm using this as a replacement for mine. Speaking of,
Replacement.
I'll pull out
Almost like they
Hazil.
find us.
Very interesting. That sword is also of renown. That sword belonged to a great blue dragonborn to the east of here, hero Rockscale, a hero of the lands in that part of the world.
Damn dwarf cat's always in the way.
This one as well, as I pull out Helmos dagger.
He kind of. You mean the okay? He actually doesn't recognize that one. A monster.
That's probably better.
Yeah. And you would, out of character, history wise, again, you're very historically minded. You would know the reason why that's the case, based on Shamble's long diatribe of his story. The guy who that was created for died at Christopher Vester's original. Very.
I socked him real good the schnapps, right?
Punched him right in the dick.
He gained a renown.
It's not where the schnapps is.
Well, maybe he had a dick nose. You don't
Bottom
know.
schnoz.
Anyhow.
Okay. Out of character, I want to confirm party treasury is right, and we can all take from that, correct? Like
I
gold
doubt
wise.
it.
It's not up to date.
Oh.
What are you looking for?
I wanted to get Hazil repaired.
Is money in there?
Oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
the money in there is correct.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to make sure. And I will ask them if they can repair my broken Hazil.
They say that it will take some time.
Yeah.
And they say that this sword is interesting because the last time you were here, you had it repaired, but it was different. So they also ask you if it's okay if they examine the enchantments therein, because they're very strange to them. And they said that they will request half the price instead of a full price for cost on this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so the repair job on this would be normally 2,000 gold pieces because it is a pretty decently potent magic item, a rare magic item. Instead, they'll charge you 1,000.
Awesome.
And that's coming out of the party treasury, you said?
I'll cut it out of there.
Thank
Good.
you.
And
That
the
was
dagger.
1,000 gold.
The dagger?
Yep.
They say it can repair it. I believe that is a very rare, or is it rare? Let me double check. I think it's rare.
I don't know. It's a +3.
Oh, no. That's legendary. Yeah, it's going to cost a lot to repair.
It was a good punch, right?
25,000 gold pieces to repair.
I would take that out of the party.
25,000.
We'll take that out of the party treasury.
Wait, what's its condition? It's currently, is it poor?
Poor.
Yeah, it's 25,000
Jesus, right?
to get it back to full.
How much is it per step?
It's about half. To basically repair it from broken to full, it's full cost of the magic item.
Yeah.
Which is why Hazil costs 2,000 for a rare. Legendary magic items are about 50,000 to 100,000 gold pieces. Just depends on the item. And since they don't know that magic item, they went for the low ball, 50,000. Math checks out. I promise. I'm normally terrible at math, but I believe in myself on this one.
Hey,
But now we
anybody
get
else
closer.
taking dips into the treasury? I don't know
25,000,
why this
you
is
wanna do
my
it?
job.
I mean, yeah, we need this thing.
This is the best knife ever. Absolutely.
He's got the Wonder to fall back on.
Well, you could ask the.
Right.
You mean you have party treasury, but you also have the party bankroller, Mister Dollar Bill. I got the residuum at the the wazoo. If he has the, because they'll take residuum as payment.
I don't know if
I
he
don't
has
have
that much.
cash.
I don't have that much residuum.
25,000. You don't have 25,000.
I thought he only had
Hold
like
on.
5,000 total.
I have
It was more.
42,000.
Yeah, it's up there, dude. I knew it was 50,000
Yeah.
to start.
We need that for spells because we die a lot.
Oh, can we pick up a second bag of holding as well if they have them?
There it is.
You
No,
need
they're
so many
out.
bags of holding.
They're out. Okay.
His got broken.
I have so
mine got
much
broken.
holding.
We have 73,000 gold in party treasury. I think we can afford it.
Yeah, it's not like you guys aren't loaded.
And I've bankrolled plenty of things in the past.
We had 73,000.
Now we have
47.
48, 7. Math.
He's bad at math. It's him. It was always him.
You know what? He was actually really good at math. He forgot about the 1,000 for Brent.
Ah, very good.
That's- Oh, okay. Just a lucky guess that. Never mind.
Oh, he got it right because. Oh, damn.
I was not thinking about the 1,000 from Brent.
Very good. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna stroll.
The dagger.
Sorry, go ahead.
The dagger will take 3 days per stage to repair it. So it'll take a total of 6 days to repair the Helmoth's dagger to full.
That sucks.
It'd take
We'll be
longer
back.
for Haziel, won't it?
No, Haziel won't take long at all. It'll take 2 days to repair it completely. Because the weapon's broken, they're effectively just reforging it, so it's less of a fine detailed situation.
Gotcha.
Whereas Helmoth's dagger's got it's not broken completely. So it requires a little bit to maintain the structural integrity of it. Also, it's legendary.
Fair.
Okay. So are you going
Do they-
to
Do they have anything comparable?
they do not. If you want to take Black Razor back, they will allow you to
Do you
take
have
it
a
out of
rental?
take it out of the office. Or if you want to grab they don't actually have the Saint Sword here anymore.
They would not let Black Razor go.
No, they wouldn't. Not that you've relinquished it.
They're
they
waiting
wouldn't.
on
Hell
somebody
no.
to come observe its destruction.
I was kind of there was a part of me that was hoping that you'd there was a part of
I
me that
don't
was
want that
hoping
attuned to anybody.
you'd come in and you'd be like, let me borrow the sword. I gotta go kill Nelnefondus. Then rush off into the last fight with it. I would be like, interesting.
Also, I'm not proficient with it anymore because,
You retrain the feet.
yeah,
Very smart.
funny as it was.
Yep. There was that one time on a train where you were proficient with a great sword, so you cut the turnbuckle. Which is officially what it's called, by the way.
I'd like to
Shatterspike
stroll
a
the market.
greatsword?
No, Shatterspike's a longsword.
That's what I broke it with.
Oh, then I'm dumb. I thought you broke it with great.
Yeah, no, I broke it with the one that breaks objects automatically.
You weren't even proficient with Shatterspike.
Black Razor
I am.
saw the light of day for like 3 hours, and then
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
you're no.
in a bag the whole time.
Awesome.
Kinda clever.
Fair. Okay. So, let's see. Anything else that you want to do before you start the rest?
I'd like to take a look down in the market area, see about potions,
Okay.
etc.
Potions are not a problem here when it comes to just healing potions. Bear with me for a second here.
Take all the time you need.
I have 7 healing potions on me as well.
There it is.
I think it'd be good for each of us to carry a handful.
Okay. I have them. I don't use them, but I have them.
If you're doing the market search, you can, of course, just search for something random. If you're searching for something specific, Bonrock has rare or lower. But when it comes to consumable items, not so much of an effort is required. For uncommon magic items, they assume that you can purchase it here.
I'm looking for greater healing potions or better.
Greater healing potions.
And while I'm sort of like waiting for them to parcel that together, I'll random search if you
I
Okay.
would like to random
Feel
search
like-
if you allow it.
Roll
go
me
into a table.
a D100 and then another D100.
Two D100s.
Okay.
44 and then 4.
So the 44 will confirm that you can find greater healing potions. Roll a d20 to see how many are on offer.
Ooh, I hope it's a lot.
13 total. And they will go for, they are 250 gold pieces apiece. So however many of those you want to purchase.
3,000.
And then the 4 will be... the magic item on offer for you, basically not too far out from the shop. They are talking about a magic sword that just arrived. And it is a legendary sword that has entered into Bonrock. And
You can't swing a dead cat without finding a magic sword.
What? Yeah, right. Exactly. This fucking
Grok
party.
takes out his a cloth and hands it to Ricklin to sop up the saliva that's drooling down his chin.
This magic item, according to what they say, happens to be
You know it.
a Aeten sword crafted by elves and dwarves that was forged during the early ages of the Second Era, the War of Sword and Serpent. This sword was created to be wielded by one of the High Aetens, which are the master, guardians of the elves, humans that guarded the elves. The sword is known, according to the dwarves. If you speak the dwarvish language, the word that they use is, I believe it's Boric, but it translates to defender. And according to everything that you're able to kind of glean from the people who are very interested in this weapon, it is a defender sword, which means it's a +3 weapon that you can shift the magical bonus down from 3 to 0 to shift that to armor class.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
What are they?
Action or...
So basically, you can subtract 1 from your attack bonus to get it down to like a +1, and then you have a +2 to your AC. Or you could just have it as a +3 and gain no bonus from the sword in that way. Or you could subtract all of it to put it to a +3 AC instead of.
How often can you change that?
It's at will.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
what does at will mean in 5th for you? I meant to ask you that last time.
At will means all the time. There's no limit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it take a reaction to do that?
The first time you attack with a sword on each of your turns, you transfer the bonus.
Sweet.
So you do it as a part of your attack. It's
So every time I attack, I can edit the armor class and attack bonus.
correct. Free attack, but the attack bonus
Swing to the fences.
not every time you attack. Sorry, the first time you attack, and then it lasts until the next turn.
Got it. Hey fellas, what is the asking price on this thing? I've never heard of such
It's
a
actually a
thing.
bidding process.
Oh,
Looks like
hell.
it's going up to auction.
I think you and Ricklin ought to talk that over.
What's
The starting price
auctioning
from
it?
what you're hearing is 20,000. Is what you're hearing.
starting price is 20,000.
Yep, sounds like it'll probably start the bidding in about an hour.
All right, I'll let some people know about that.
The other items on offer
That's gonna
at this.
hurt the bank.
The other items on offer at this time are more kind of museum kind of pieces. There is a statue that they say is made out of orichalcum, which they also state that they do have some ideas as what they're wanting to do with it. Some of the dwarfs you're overhearing are wanting to use the orichalcum to make a sword because they have lost transcripts that allow them to shift and shape orichalcum. Other people are interested in putting it in kind of like the the reliquaries because the individual depicted in the statue form is one of the dwarvish kind of heroes of old.
Well, I'm certainly buying all 13 of the healing potions. That'll be another 3,250
Okay. Yeah, take it off your coin.
on it. And I'll let the others know about that cool ass auction that's coming up.
That would be nice.
Okay.
As a weapon.
And this is, of course, pre-rest, right? You have yet to do your rest.
Correct.
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah.
still shopping on this day.
Yeah.
Because you kind of popped back this way midday. Okay.
Between the blacksmiths and the market, what are the best daggers and like rapier finesse weapons around?
So you can easily find +1 daggers without an issue. Most of them are kind of chunkier boys because they kind of make kind of dwarvish kind of blades, more broad-bladed blades, but they're all +1. That's the best you can really find, really. If you're searching for a specific kind of dagger, you can attempt to do that. If you're wanting just a random roll, I can also throw that, but it may not be a dagger that you find. It could be something else. But if you're looking for like a +2 dagger, you could definitely try and find one. You just need to roll for it. You roll percentile.
Cool.
Yep, and if you get under the number, then we are, or over the number, we are good.
D100, right?
Yep, the 100. Okay, so
25.
you search and you search and you search, and the best you can find are these simple kind of broad-bladed daggers, which are simply enchanted, +1 daggers.
Yeah, I'll pass on those.
Yep, I'm gonna go underwater for a little while, though, by the way. Sorry.
That's fine. I would also like
The
to randomly
market,
look
there's
around.
bound to be stuff
There's
happening.
a fountain.
Yeah. Sorry, we talked over Brett.
It's okay. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
Assert yourself.
But yeah, the daggers, +1 daggers, you can purchase one if you wanted to for 500. Not terribly expensive. Well, relatively not terribly expensive. Is Drock doing anything in specific during the kind of, afternoon portion of the day?
No, not really.
Okay.
No shopping interested.
Benson?
I'm gonna actually rest. I got beat up, got knocked down 2 times yesterday, almost died. I'm gonna be resting. There's not a lot of social in me.
Does anybody want to do the auction for the Defender Sword?
Yeah, man, we're gonna check that out.
Yeah. I also rolled a random roll if you didn't see it.
Oh, you are searching, so you're not going to be at the auction.
No.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, I guess you can. It's kind of an event thing.
Yeah, he's just strolling through.
Yeah. You said 59?
59. 10 away from being nice.
I get your joke. It is, you're searching around the marketplace, and there's a lot of stuff on offer. Like I said, lots of simple enchantment stuff in this season. But the thing that kind of strikes your fancy and sounds interesting is this individual seems to be selling belts that he claims happen to be made from the essence of giants. He states that the very sweat and blood of giants has been imbued into the leather of these belts, which are more like girdles, like, think like championship belts, and like, they're very very tacky looking. Definitely your style. Helm of Brilliance, big ass belt. I'm ready to jump off the top rope and fall for eternity, because that's my character. What my character would do.
I accept that.
That said, yeah, they do have these very interesting belts. The main one that might be of interest to you, the one that you happen to kind of find, is a belt of giant strength. Belt of stone giant strength. Sorry. And a belt of stone giant strength would basically switch your strength score while you're wearing it. It would require attunement, but your strength score would be replaced with 23.
Jesus.
Which is a +7, I believe. No.
That replaces the base number, right?
Yeah, whatever your strength score is, while you're wearing the belt, it is the other.
So if you have other things on that modify it somehow, they would apply to the 23.
It's a hard lock.
Strictly
Yeah.
exchanges it.
Okay. That's a stupid number then. It should be
23 is
22.
a +6.
Yeah, they should have just made it 22.
+6 is what I
if
meant.
it's just going to lock it.
Well, you have several different belts. It's 21, 23, 25, 27, and 29, depending on what type of giant you've got.
He's making me the numbers. It's dumb.
Yeah, so Stone and Frost are the second most, or second least powerful And then you have Fire Giant, Cloud Giant, and Storm Giant.
Hey, we know one of those.
Mm-hmm.
They have a special ability.
This guy I've ever saw.
Didn't he die?
He sure did, but holy shit, did he beat my ass for
You guys know they can get bigger?
I'll be completely honest.
He fastballed me into a tree.
The Bastion has been beating the crap out of people, yeah.
Okay.
That was a
Also-
slider at best.
Unrelated aside, fastball specialing you into a tree, and then just last session, for Friday, I used a weird Minotaur skeleton suit thing to fastball special our Paladin. What the fuck is with me just throwing people lately?
See, the fastball special is meant to be like a cooperative.
Yeah, a teamwork thing, not a enemy throwing you into a wall shit.
Not some manhead like me against a pine.
You wanna fly around, I'll chuck you into a tree. Anywho.
I've never been faster, and I long for that speed again.
The belt, by the way, is a meager 15,000 gold.
No, I think we're more interested in the sword, so we won't buy
Okay.
nothing like that yet.
Yeah, lots
See
of
if they
stuff
got
on
layaway.
offer. They do not have layaway.
Put on layaway.
If you are interested in the auction, what I'll need from you, whoever is the representative of the auction, I will need a D100 roll. This is your fortune roll to see how lucky you will be on the other individuals present.
Is that me?
You are the representative
Yes.
who found it, so yeah.
Sure.
D100. 85%
Okay.
lucky.
Okay.
Probably.
So, during the process of the setup, you see that there are a number of dwarves that have entered into the arena, if you will, to purchase these items. You'll also notice that there's a pale human gentleman wearing kind of very fine vestments. He appears to be wearing a crown that's made out of brambles or kind of just like broken twigs and branches. There's a woman present who has very just soft blonde hair, and she's wearing kind of a velvet gown. These two appear to kind of be across from each other, like in the auction room, but you can already kind of tell there's like a dichotomy between the two. And when the items are being kind of bid on, it seems that they are able to kind of very quickly with relish throw bids out that are quite lavish. And it does seem like they're both trying to kind of buy everything up. The Defender sword is put on the block. The starting bid is 20,000. And if you do not make that bid, one of those two will. That said, during the process, this bid will continue to go upwards. Who did you bring with you, Zach?
Raya and Brooklyn. I don't know if Grok was tagging along.
Okay.
I mean, sure, I could come along, but yeah, whatever.
Okay. Benson went straight to bed. He got beat up.
Yeah, no, I'm hurt.
I should have gone to bed, but cool
Your
sword.
guts are just dragging on behind you. You're like, oh, this didn't happen when I was it was just stuffing when I was a scarecrow. It wasn't that big a deal.
Not the same.
Oh no, it snagged on something. Oh, it's a pain. But anyway, so the group there, if there's anything that you would want to do independent of the situation, you certainly can. If you want to speak to any of the other bidders at all. But I will let you know that for the first kind of segment, the bidding will very quickly kind of rise through the 20,000s up toward the 30s.
Yeah, if I'm the one bidding, I don't know if you guys want to do stuff.
Yeah, so the other party members can certainly kind of like set a hard limit. You can also operate functionally independent of shambles in the group. If there's temporally, if you wanted to like get with them between bids and kind of
Some tempora.
speak to the other people, you could have. Again, it's a little bit more open-ended as a narrative. If you want to explain what you're doing, I'm just going to tell you what you need to roll. But if not, I need to know what your hard limit is, and I need to tell you if that's going to be enough or not.
I'm doing some math. I've given him a number already that I would whisper to him, and then I'll just meander about and kind of see if I can get a seat as close to Fantasy Jesus as I can.
Yep. Rooklyn, why don't you go talk to the nice lady?
Sorry, what did you say his name was?
I could go try.
Fantasy Jesus.
Okay.
I called
I
him
mean,
Bankroll Jesus.
So
That's who you described him as.
when you get close to him, a very pale lad, there's a certain like timelessness to his eyes and his features, and he kind of notices you, and you kind of notice him differently in that you have kind of a certain affinity for the dead, and there's something about him that seems to kind of just reek of it. You're not sure for certain if he's undead or not, but like you're definitely, now that you're closer to him, are getting that vibe full on.
I'd kind of bow to him and ask if I could approach.
Not a problem. I'm just waiting for the next lot.
Do you happen to know which one that is?
I believe they are putting on offer a piece of interest, a relic, a tome. I'm kind of familiar with. It's a part of my family's histories. It was brought here from the Westerlands. A tome that describes the construction of certain artifices that I am interested in perhaps reproducing.
Oh, is it anything I've heard of?
I'm not certain. I'm not terribly familiar with your level of expertise. Apologies. How rude of me. I am Gothias Tornor.
I feel like we've heard that name before.
Yep.
I think that's a tree vampire.
So,
I would
hold on a
Introduce
second.
myself and my station. Go ahead.
So, just a sort of backstory, thinking back to our October session, the Dread Plane, the train, hero Roxdale usurped the demon Golthias in that Dread Plane. Just say that's that name.
Give him a proper greeting and introduce myself.
Static Mishrael.
Sir Zadok Mishrael.
Yeah. You'll note that he didn't prefer the Sir title on himself, but you will notice he is carrying a Rondel dagger. You would also know from your history being trained and quite good that Torinor is a noble house from the Eastlands, the Broken Blade Coast.
Like all the way east.
All the way east.
It's not even on this map, right?
Yeah,
All the way at the edge.
it's way over there. If you want me to pull up the big map, I can.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I believe you.
It's that way. It's over that way.
So,
Actually, I guess it would be that way on screen.
Backward.
Sorry, it's reversed.
Our pennies together. We have a total of 110,000 available to us.
Okay, what's your maximum bid? Or are you just going to bid until everyone drops out?
I'm gonna stop at 90.
Okay. That's your number. Okay. Anything else you want to... Again, you're exchanging with Master Torner here. Is there anything else you want to talk to him about?
No, I just shoot the shit and see if he'll end up telling me what the device is.
Yeah, so he explains that the tome kind of deals with a series of servitors, similar to what the dwarves would know as Undaunted. He explains that they're kind of doll-like in manifest and are easier to repair than an Undaunted. And your mind would immediately reflect back to the train.
And I would ask him to describe them to me.
He says,
Did
well,
we
they
keep
come
that?
in different shapes and manners. It depends on what role they fill. Some would be servants that would serve inside of quarters or castles, maids or cooks, representatives of staff. Others might be warrior types, soldiery.
And these, so similar to an Undaunted, but not at all the same.
Correct. They actually have a bit of a semblance of life due to the fact that they are forged from a willing participant, whereas Undaunted souls are kind of brought forward and made manifest by the arcane tricks of the craft. These individuals are servants who are willing to sacrifice their own lives to become effectively immortal servants of their master.
Oh, so they were once living?
Correct.
What is something like that worth? And this is what you're trying to recreate?
Oh, it's just a tome that kind of goes over the original research and lore. I don't know what it's worth, but I know what I'm willing to pay for it. And then if you kind of like, look like you're about to ask like how much that is, he kind of taps his placard, which he'd raise in the bidding process, and kind of denoting that he's not going to tell you what he's going to pay, so you don't.
No, I wouldn't ask him the number.
Sure.
I'd have more tact than that.
Okay.
He is a
Yes.
nobleman.
Yes.
Yeah. I know better.
he's vetted.
He's newer to being a nobleman than he is to being an elf, but only by a couple of weeks.
And I'm great at both.
Really took a shine to it.
Yeah.
Look at me collecting titles. Like Pokemon.
Anything else you want to try to address or get out of him?
I'm just going to keep listening as this bidding goes on.
Sure. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have an issue with your presence or your company. Brooklyn, are you doing anything during the auction process?
Person Shambles told me to go talk to the lady, so
Okay.
I'll go make small talk. I
She
guess.
kind
Keep
of
her attention.
looks at you like annoyed. Sorry, I have these seats cordoned off for me and my company. And you can see that no one's with her. She says, I don't need any individuals taking these seats, please.
Okay then. Well, I'm not friendly, and I'll walk away.
She doesn't appear to be friendly, but to you, she does appear to be very powerful. Like, there's something about her presence when you get into range of her that kind of like, it's like I should probably, you know how you sometimes will be like, oh, I cast Divine Sense or use Divine Sense for no reason because you get a vibe? That vibe
Y'all
is
need
present.
Y'all need it.
Okay.
You'll need the
If I feel
senses
that
of that.
vibe, I'll do it.
She's a very powerful fae based on your sense, and you see her immediately kind of look to you and she says, is there a problem?
No, get the feeling to do something, I do it.
Fine. Like I said, these seats are taken.
Okay.
Hold on,
Gotcha
the
the first time.
charm, damn it!
How's Goliath when I watch that? Because they're obviously in the bid war. I'm going to ask him about her.
Oh, Lady Montalais? I'm not terribly concerned.
Did I get anything from him whenever I use Divine Sense?
Oh yeah, he's undead.
Okay, well, seeing that she's not friendly and Riot's already talking to that guy, then I'm gonna go back to my seat.
Okay. Lady Montalais, she's from the Eastlands, a city called Nock. I'm not terribly concerned with her. She's brought a bit of her wealth, but I don't think she understands what's being bid on here. It's very important matters. What are you interested in?
We actually only heard a rumor. It'd be some type of blade here. Could be of interest to my party.
Ah,
Or a friend that could make great use of it.
you're seeking the Guardian Sword.
Yeah, I think that is what it was called.
Interesting. Well, I will make you a proposition. I will withhold my betting on that blade. It does have some interest to me, as the original wielder of the blade was an ancestor of mine, but it is not something that I'm terribly concerned with, because it would simply just go on a wall and not have much purpose. I presume you have other needs of the blade.
So we intend to put it to use.
Well then, I would prefer it get its wet than rather sit on a wall. And I'm sure you have no need for a book.
We always have need for a book, but
Well,
not this particular one.
fair. If you can do me a favor and find some means or method of making sure Lady Montalais does not bet on the book, then I will make sure that you are able to bid at a very low, very easy to attain level to acquire that sword.
Based on the interaction my friend just saw over there, I don't see that being an easy task.
She will definitely be a difficult nut to crack, but he leans in. I really don't care about the method as to how she's disposed of in this matter. if you just make sure she doesn't bid on the book, it would be well rewarded. I'm thinking you could probably pick up that sword for its initial asking price. And he kind of leans back, smiling, looking over to Lady Montoulet, kind of with a grin. A grin that you can make a perception roll on. There.
He's
Ryan.
got vampire teeth.
He's got vampire teeth. He's got vampire
21.
teeth. You
I'm
definitely
gonna
see
call
that.
it.
He definitely has fangs. He is a vampire.
I used to have some of those. I'd pull out my human skull and show it to him.
Do you really do that?
Sure, why not?
Is that real?
TMI.
Golthias being all buddy.
You see him kind of go, interesting. Well, maybe have after the auction we'll have some more conversations, I suppose.
I knock on my own head. It's fine, I got another one.
It would
Put it
appear
back in the bag.
Even more piqued and interested in your presence, to be sure. But the process for causing Lady Montoulet to be removed from this auction.
Well, I'm gonna. How well protected is the auction house?
The dwarven defenders guard the doors.
Warded?
No.
Hmm.
If you do a quick search of your own, you'll note that there doesn't appear
Yeah,
to be any.
at a glance.
It genuinely, you did see the dwarven defenders outside, big dwarves with
Right.
shields and poleaxes that they wield one-handed. Very hard to miss. Yeah.
And the auctioneer, what is just a dwarf?
Dwarf, old, pale, white hair, just like, he looks like the headmaster of Hogwarts, just shorter.
Are we in a private box or anything, or is he in public seating?
It's basically just like an open kind of seating situation, but it looks like there's kind of a space around Golthias that is not kind of taken up, and there's a space around Lady Montoulet that's also not.
People just know better.
Yeah, or they've acquired seating through.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. I look forward to chatting with you after the auction.
Of course.
I'm gonna take my leave and see if I can literally disappear into the crowd somewhere.
Yeah, not a problem. I mean, there are mostly dwarves, but again, there's a number of people who are of a suitable height to blend in. Yeah. Standing out in a crowd of dwarves is very easy if you're over the height of 4'6".
Yeah. So I'm gonna slink into the crowd, try to get kind of close to a wall, and I'll cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
And then, do you want stealth?
No, it's not necessary. I assume it's going to be higher than 15.
Yeah, as I'm whispering to myself and casting, I'll put Pass Without Trace on myself as well.
Yeah, it's going to be way higher than 15. You can't do both at the same time, though. They're both concentration.
Are they both concentration? Vincent's not here.
Invisible it up. It's the best
Invisible.
choice. It's a +10 bonus anyways for being invisible, so.
Okay. Yeah, that puts me at 23.
Yeah, a 1 would be a 24, so you're good.
Are they currently bidding on the tome?
No. It's basically in between rounds. The last thing they bid on was probably the statue. It was pretty early in the dock.
And I'll use the wall crawling ability and stuff to get up on and behind the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And wait for the auctioneer to break in between the auctions.
Okay.
I can't remember the words.
Yeah, so it would basically be moving on to the next item. The next item in question happens to be it's a comb set. Looks like it's made out of amber. And you would also note that one of the combs has a very strange kind of ornamentation, a raven kind of crafted on its top. So like if it were kind of slotted into the hair, it would kind of create like almost like a headpiece or headdress situation with a raven as its crown. Golthias appears to be bidding on it more intentionally.
Could I interrupt a little bit?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
sorry. Just with more out of character context. Again, the same time that we learned about this dread plane and hero Roxdale usurping Golthias, we learned about the Senate of Ravens. So there's, I think, a connection there. Something about the law of death will be thwarted.
Rock scale,
something
by the way, for your notes.
Rock scale, right. Captives of their own transgressions.
Mhm.
Something. Anyway, so
And
that could be an important item.
just for an addendum, religion-wise, the Senate of Ravens is basically the powers underneath Eloane, the goddess of life and death, that rule over the realm of death, the Shadow Plane. They're kind of like the Archfey Council of Seasons on the life side. The Senate of Ravens is the evil variant. Or not evil, sorry, the death variant. It's not technically evil. Mostly
What does the Fey woman seem to be doing when this item is up for bid?
She seems to be kind of flippantly bidding on it, mostly kind of like having, you're pretty insightful, so you would notice there's like an annoyance in Goliath's presence during the bidding, but she...
like she's trying to thwart him in some ways?
It does look like she's trying to kind of stop him from gaining it, but it does also look like she's not focused on the item for any reason. She's more focused on the contest.
Thank you.
So as they're changing lots, does the auctioneer leave the stage to get the next item, or does somebody bring it to him?
So you'll note that the set is won by Gulthias. They take the item and they move it over to a section, and when you kind of look over to that section on the backstage, you'll see that it kind of has like a name and like kind of like a pile, and you can see that there's a pile for Gulthias, a pile for her. There looks like there's 3 other individuals who've acquired things in this auction lot so far, and their names are present. They're not important. And basically on the other side of the stage, kind of just off stage, there's like a rack that has items that are basically being pulled to the side by one dwarf. Looks like just like a little apprentice guy who's just kind of sliding stuff into queue. And then when he has that like that moment in between, and they're getting ready for the next bit, like there's like a time that everyone gets to sit and relax for a second, the apprentice will grab the item and then move out to the floor and set the item out on a pedestal where it's displayed.
So I want to interject, as he's taking the combs and they're done, and he's taking it over and adding it to the pile.
Mm-hmm.
I'll slip one off the pillow invisible and put it in his beard.
Okay.
And just whisper in his ear that if Lady Montalay leaves here with any books, his entire family and this whole city will burn to the ground.
Make an
And
intimidation.
I'll drag a small knife across him and like leave a tiny little cut for him. Ugh, 6.
Would that give him advantage though, with the extra flavor in there, the knife and everything else?
I don't think a 14 is going to matter too much
It was
more.
a shit roll.
I'm trying to think of how this goes. Again, a 6 is a 6.
Intimidation is not my strong suit.
You hear him go, but my family's dead.
The city's made of stone.
Not all of it.
It's all dead. That's why I'm apprenticing
Carved out
under the
of a
Bone
volcano.
Rocks.
You've got nothing to lose.
I used to live in Barrod. Oh.
Now it's sad.
I'm sorry.
You see him start to cry a bit as he kind of like pulls the comb out of his beard and puts it back into the set.
Give him
I wiped
an
his
invisible
tears.
kiss on the
You
forehead.
wipe his tears and say, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. I didn't mean it. Make a persuasion roll.
God. 13.
He says, I don't have much power over who gets what and whatnot. The dwarven defenders is the ones who take and make sure the people get their stuff. I just sort it into spots. I'm sorry, invisible force trying to cut my throat. I can't help you much if you can kill
I
me.
never said his throat.
What you said? You slit him a little bit. What part did you cut?
No, I said I just scratch him a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily on his face.
He says-
Nothing noticeable.
Invisible force of paper cuts.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can, but I can't help too much because I don't have much ability to do it.
You're right. I'm sorry.
If you notice though,
Atavia shines upon you. Or whatever the dwarven god is.
They do worship Atavius. What you would notice at this point is He's over at the side where he's placing the stuff on the right side of the stage.
Mhm.
There's literally no one on the left side of the stage.
Yeah, that's where I was going next.
All right. So the guy will basically be in one place or the other. You know that if you take it before the auction happens, then problem. Because when he calls it up on his list, unless you get the page off of his pedestal, then there'll be a problem. He'll say the item, and then the item's not there, the apprentice won't have it, and then they'll try and find a thief. But if the page leaves,
Well, they just need a book, right?
it's the book, yeah. Yeah, well, oh, ha, 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 ha. I like your story. I like your moves.
So I have a book in my bag.
All right. Well, then,
Does
are you
does
going to
it
go
look
swap the books out?
resplendent and worth a lot of money?
I kind of want to change the bindings, but I don't want to upset the guy by destroying it. I'll just stay back here and stay invisible.
Okay. If it goes,
I'll wait for the bids to end and then
if
make
it
the
goes,
switch.
if it goes through the process, the defender comes up, and you'll notice. Oh, sorry. Was anybody going? No one was going to speak to Lady Montalay after that, right? Okay.
No, she's mean. She's a meanie.
So then
She's
it'll
very
go to the
rude.
bidding process, and you will note that Gulthias's demeanor, as the sword kind of gets to it, becomes a bit more kind of postured, and he kind of seems to be looking around at the other bidders as the sword comes onto display. And Shambles, you place a bid on the weapon, right?
Yeah.
You see his eyes kind of look to you. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
16.
18.
You immediately yell out to him, I rescind my bid!
Dang, it even beat an 18.
There was
It's rough.
genuinely never brought a connection between Shambles and Raya. According to Gulthias, Raya has to place the winning bid. But yeah, you immediately...
I said my party. I never said myself, but yeah.
He doesn't know who
That's
your party
fair. That's fair, yeah.
is. He immediately dominates you and commands you to rescind your bid.
Wow.
Am I being charmed?
It technically is a charm, yes. Are you immune to charm?
I could end a charm. I don't know how much time I've got.
Sure. He would have the time to because of the way dominated is worded, he would have the time to basically put you to task to do it. Because it's a free action to speak.
After you drop out, then you would get a chance to break it.
Yeah.
I'm not charmed. Shit, I'm already out.
You would see too that he kind of does like an eye sweep, like a at everybody. And the vibe that you're getting, Shambles, is that he's probably doing the same to everyone. When no one's bidding, and he kind of looks around and, like, locks his charms and then kind of looks around, he goes, interesting. You see him kind of think for a second, like waiting. There's like a gap, there's a space in time, waiting. And then he kind of says, 20,000. And places the bid himself. Says,
There, this took forever.
No one else is there. And everyone waits, and eventually Gulthias wins the bid. The sword is moved from the pedestal to the backside.
Beans. I really blew it, guys. I'll sit with Rooklyn and the meat lady.
During the meeting portion, or the middle portion,
Rooklyn wasn't allowed to sit there. He had to leave.
Gulthias will actually leave his station and kind of move over to Master Vester, and will say, Christopher Vester.
Guy I don't know that I'm pretty sure hypnotized me.
I apologize.
I'll offer him a hand. It's like fair game, bud.
I apologize for the matter.
I'll admit when I lose.
I had an original agreement with an individual who I need to ask you if you're familiar with. Do you have any elves in your company?
Yeah, Raya.
Brian.
Yeah.
That's not his name.
That's what I call him.
That's not his name.
So somebody refers to him as Raya. What do you refer to him as, Zach?
I know him as Mishrael. I always call him by his full name,
Mishrael.
not the title.
And Brooklyn, do you refer to him as Mishrael or Raya?
Because we're nobles.
I would say Raya. I've always called him Raya.
He's very much focused on the lord that he's speaking to, the well-known and heroic gladiator. So he just kind of looks at the half-orc confused, then looks back to you. Ah, I had an agreement with Master Mishrael. I apologize. I should not have used my capabilities against you. I did not know that you were a part of his company. Here, take this. And he hands you a winning ticket. I
Cool.
simply require the recompensation for the ticket.
Oh, yeah. What was?
Well, actually, no.
what was
Apologies.
the deal?
I haven't paid yet. So just pay the individual when you take the ticket up to them.
Yeah, no, that's totally cool. That's what I would have wanted to spend. Why?
He has agreed to assist me in a matter. I do not know how familiar you and him are, so I won't divulge too much.
Haven't spoken to him in a good 20 minutes. Maybe catch me up.
I haven't seen him, well, I haven't seen him in quite the same amount of time.
Huh.
I assume he's some form of spellcaster.
At times, I'm not sure I wrap my head around it.
Does look at
Maybe
wand
he
a lot.
needs my help, and you could tell me what's going on, and I can make sure this deal goes down.
I unfortunately don't think that I can do that, as I made the agreement with him. And again, I do not know exactly how far your friendship goes. So, apologies. As you are probably well aware, people who are capable of utilizing magic do form the most convoluted of plans.
Yeah.
So, we will see what exactly he is doing to make sure that his half of the bargain is made exact. So, enjoy the item, and hopefully I will be able to do likewise.
Yeah, I guess we'll sit with you. I didn't catch your name.
Oh, no, I wasn't asking for you to come and sit with me. You have your
Oh.
seats here.
But
Sorry, you're not as cool as
we
me.
don't have any other friends.
Oh,
The other one, he's invisible.
Yeah,
now.
that other lady's mean.
well,
There's that turtle over there. We should go get him.
I wasn't exactly looking for any kinds of... have a great day. Just turns and awkwardly walks away.
We'll never forget this.
We are sworn enemies now.
Please do.
Shambles will name his first kid after you.
Honestly, if Gulthias wanted to, he could make it.
We'll buy his best.
Gulthias Fester, I love it. Anyways, the book process. Do you want to swap the books out?
When the biddings are complete, he moves it over to the stacks.
So the winning book will be the fake book, correct?
The one that they collect will be a fake.
Got it. Okay,
Let
perfect.
them bid so they can see it. They know it's.
At any time during the middle process, are you going to inform Gulthias that that's the situation, that you have the book and give it to him, or are you going to make him bid on it and think that he needs to win the book? Because to his knowledge, he doesn't know the plan. So do you want to relay the plan to him prior to enacting the plan?
Yeah,
I
quietly.
think.
Okay. Make another stealth check. This one's actually a little bit harder. Based on your rolling, you might fail.
Don't you know sending
I
or
still have a
some
plus
message
10.
or
Plus
something?
10 for being invisible, so 29.
It's actually just over.
Or
Okay.
32 unless I have advantage from also being invisible.
You kind of slip over to Gulthias, whisper words in his ears. And basically, as you approach him, the thing that immediately strikes you as strange, though, is you see him kind of lean
He
his
looks-
ear towards where you're walking.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
And you whisper the words into his ears, and he kind of nods his head. You move to the book so you can see Gulthias during the bidding process not bid on the book, and you perform the switcheroo, and then return to him with the book.
I'd let him know during the meeting. I'll meet him after.
Yeah.
That way there's no...
Perfect. So he explains to you that he'll meet you at a set location, and after a fashion, everything's collected. You acquire the Defender Longsword, which is in the Dungeon Master's Guide before. And as I said, it is a +3 longsword that you can shift the.
Oh, it's a
proficiency.
long sword.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Actually, no. Hold on. Sorry, it is random. Roll a d8.
Boy, this could be worse.
Hey, Pierre! Hey, Pierre!
It's a 1.
It's a short sword.
Oh my god. Who's gonna get it?
Short swords aren't finesse, so I can't sneak with it.
Short swords are finesse.
Are they?
Yep.
No. Well, I'll still pass the first grab. I technically own a +3 item.
It's just under repairs.
It's just real fucked up right now.
I might have stabbed a wall or two.
Rock
What?
dug it into a femur.
It happens.
Okay, we'll figure that out here in a second. I am
It's
subtracting
either gonna-
20,000.
Yeah, it's either going to be Brooklyn or it's going to be Shambles. Those are the only two options. But Brooklyn does have Shatter Spike at current. And
Yeah, but I
being
also
repaired.
really like the idea of Ruka carrying it and just dumping it to 0 and taking that +6 with the shield.
+3.
Yeah, but the shield's another +3,
Oh.
and the sword another +3.
No. Shield's a +5.
Shield's a fucking monster.
What would your maximum AC be, Brent?
Maximum AC if I
28.
cast Divine, it'd be 30 because I could do Divine
Oh,
shield
shit.
on myself.
You got to do that.
It'd be real silly.
Defender does require attunement, though.
Worth it.
But at the same
least
time,
we'll
my
use
AC is
that
already
crashing
kind of
and building.
high. So Shambles' AC is what, 22
Baby, yeah.
21.
Yeah,
If he used
jumping him
it,
up is also
it would be-
beneficial.
to 25, and then mine would still be
And
like
throw it off and get in there.
When
Yeah.
Were my gauntlets attunement?
Swordsman got
No, yours are special. They are not. They're braces
you
of
got?
armor that don't require attunement.
I've been counting the bracers as attunement this entire time.
Let me double check.
My
No, sorry.
armor?
Bracers of armor.
Swordsman's gauntlets.
No, swordsman's gauntlets are. Sorry, what am I thinking?
I don't
Different.
know.
You're
I've
thinking
also
of
I've also
Grox.
got the
Yeah.
gloves. The punchy gloves.
Grox has the bracers of armor that don't require attunement. You're right. Swordsman's gauntlets do require attunement.
Okay, and my actual like
Your winged
Castus.
boots and your cestus.
Festus.
The cestus were just plus.
Plus
Hard
one.
C.
I think.
Yeah, they don't
Sure.
require attunement.
Okay, I didn't think so.
We looked it up last time. It's definitely a hard C sound on the start of that word.
Cases. I did it again. Sorry.
Don't
Okay,
stuff that
so
in.
I have an open attunement slot.
Just tried to correct you incorrectly. The point is, let's move to because the name of the
Yeah.
session is absolutely not what we're doing. So
Who
let's
says?
focus
What's the
on.
name of
Let
the
me check the
session?
Twitch.
It's
called-
the Bastion. I assumed you'd be
I've got an
talking
ad for
back
the
to
Nintendo
the.
Switch.
Oh yeah, we're not going there.
It's called
Oh,
Shop
yeah.
and Spree at Bon Rock.
It's the second Dark Flame, is what this fucking situation is.
It's called Try Not to Die to the Bastion.
You know what? I'm just gonna name every session Dark Flame from moving on. That's just all the session names.
Eventually it'll be right.
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. But no, so you go to meet Golthias at just kind of a small meeting point that he addresses, and you pass over the book.
Yeah.
Okay. He nods and says, "I assume this was acquired through ill-gotten methods."
Oh, I wouldn't know.
I am not making
I was
any.
only asked to deliver the book.
I'm not making any.
Here it is.
Any accusations or any.
Oh, I would
accusatory-
never say you did.
Fair, perfectly fair. If you ever end up in the Broken Blade Coast, I am currently residing at a place known as Nightfang Pass. If you wish to treat with me, I would be there. I unfortunately do not have much time regarding my presence here. I simply came for the auction, and my method of return is inbound. So I must be on my way. I suppose I have a couple of moments if you have any questions for me before I continue on. I do have one question for you. You don't happen to be affiliated with Eglin's Guild, would you?
Is that a name I know?
You can make a history check.
The best eggs.
Good one.
Thank you.
Hey,
No one else reacted.
20.
Eglin's Guild, also known as Jax Guild, is a thieves guild that is international. It's across the world. They are a very old and very ancient thieves guild that operate very quietly. Whether or not certain towns or cities have them is very hard to track. And actually, the Mardigans consider themselves as a splinter of them, but they are not the type of guild, or not the type of gang, rather, that would say that they are that gang. They are absolutely, it's like, that's them.
Even if you're in, you don't talk about it.
Yeah, and the Mardigans will basically, they have the same operational structure, like but they don't say that they are them. It's more like a respect because this is the way it's supposed to be run kind of deal.
I think so. Got it.
What did the Flash want? No, just continue. How would you answer the
Can't
question?
think of anything to ask him. Do you guys know anything?
I thought you were going to do something with that.
Well, how
doll.
would you answer his question? Would you say no?
Not that I'm aware of. I would drop the Mardigan name that I typically contract through them.
I think that's a new gang that I'm not affiliated or aware of. Okay, well, that's fine. Just fishing for possible connections. Any questions for him at all? And again, do you have the doll?
Yeah, as a boon, I'm gonna pull that out and give it to him. I found this on a train. Seems to be what you were talking about. Might help you along with your studies.
You see him kind of look at you curiously. A train?
Yes.
Where?
No, it's broke.
Train in the mist, somewhere between being and not being. I'm not really sure. We
Did
broke
you happen to talk to anyone? Perhaps a strange individual with the head of a fox?
Was it a pig? It was a pig.
I
No,
did
sorry,
speak
the
with her.
Hmm. Interesting.
I believe she said it was your plane. Your name was mentioned.
Is that what she's identifying as now? She. Interesting. She.
She never identified herself. Sorry to make assumptions.
Well, the deceiver
But a
goes.
fox-headed creature.
The deceiver goes by many different pronouns, titles. She's a very interesting being, to be sure. Are you
I had
giving me?
meant to meet with your usurper, but
Are you giving me
our
this?
plans were changed. Of course, it's going to help you in your studies. Seems like this is what you were trying to create anyway.
Interesting. Well, I will take it. You see him kind of move his hand, and it seems to kind of lift the thing up and kind of move it towards him into his cape. And you can then see like the inner lining of his cape kind of roil like water, and it kind of enters into the cape, and he kind of sweeps his cape closed.
So that was neat.
Certain ancient magics. It's not too hard to find. If you ever find your way on the eastern coast, please.
I'm gonna
look me up.
tug on Raya's sleeve.
Oh, I don't think you're here.
Oh, I'm not. Damn it.
I don't think anybody's here for this.
Yeah, I
we
don't
don't
think-
talk about this.
Yeah. So, the Vampire Goliath will leave you to that, taking the item in question happily, and that'll be very interesting for Friday. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Or Tuesday. I don't know which yet.
I'll take a bow in whatever thing he has. I assume he's going to give me some kind of marker that says I'm welcome if I show up. He's probably got servants.
So he would actually hand you a small coin. It appears to have his face on it, and the coin appears to be made completely out of amber.
He's gonna give you
do we know
another
her?
ticket like we had.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do we know her?
Amber is the color of his energy.
Nice. Whoa.
Whoa.
Fucking
Anyway.
nice, boys.
we got there. But yeah, if that's it, yeah, the Defender Sword is yours for 20,000. Not bad, good deal. A little bit of role play in there, a little bit of interesting shit happening here. And then you move along and about your way. Long rest is had. Anything else that you want to do during the morning of the next day?
Does Raya tell the rest of the group about the conversation he had with Gulthias about switching out the tome and all that stuff?
Well,
Fuck no, none of that ever even happened. What are you talking about?
God,
I don't
to be fair,
even
the
know
only
what
person
Gulthias
that
is.
knows that Gulthias' name is Gulthias is Raya.
Okay, I just wanted to know if he told us. 'cause
He's-
If you want to ask me stuff, I'll tell you. I talked to that guy, and he was pretty cool. He said he was going to help us get a sword, and then he invited me to his summer house.
Yeah, he gave me a
Dealing
ticket
with a
for this
demon,
cool
huh?
sword.
Demon's a vampire.
You know what, Jody? Learn from the best.
It was
you know-
just this cool older goth gentleman with a
You-
lot of money.
You know what's funny too is that individual he just spoke
room.
to, out of character note, and actually in character note, because you would know this, he was one of the lieutenants of Ashmedea during the War of Sword and Serpent. So
Was.
Boy, that's man.
I said was.
Ah,
I used to be a piece of shit.
I used to be sloppy steaks.
Live for New Year's Eve.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so
I tried to do something, and he's all like, somebody tries to call him out, and he's like, "Oh man, you guys aren't here." What?
Nobody caught him in character.
now you just gotta
Yeah,
catch him.
catch
I was talking in my head during the whole time.
Yeah, you told us.
Hey,
about
I'm
it.
sorry
Yeah, but you
if
kinda-
you went to bed, Benson.
You
It
kind of
did.
lost the thing though, and she kind of popped out, so it kind of alerted us for you. Like,
It did pop out. Yeah, that did
Yeah.
happen.
You and maybe
The
Lady,
only-
whatever her name was, were the only ones that could have kept an eye on me, and you went to bed.
Yeah, there literally no one could see him. Like you would have saw him. But yeah,
Yeah, neat.
He's so
Anybody-
mad.
You were tuckered out.
it was a long day, guys.
You could have
We've been
managed
over
the
this.
lady.
Okay, like
If
straight
you're
up,
gonna be
totally
evil,
role playing now, not even caring anymore. I'm hurt. Nope. Freaking machine. If I have one hit point, I'm going.
Damn right. That's how I've been.
that's what I've been doing.
You just gotta always be
currently have
casting spells on yourself.
I guess.
Don't
Okay,
take the glasses off again.
so you wake up the next morning, and
Get breakfast.
John, can I get the stats on that sword? I am gonna hold on to it.
sure, it's a defender. It should be
I'll
able
see
to
you
pull out of the compendium. You should be able to just drag and drop it into your thing. And just in case you were wondering what he looked like,
Oh, he's younger than I thought. Neat. Oh, you did say crown of thorns.
well, brambles, yeah, kind of like twigs.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you. How do I get to the compendium? I don't
It's
know.
the eye.
Eye up in the top right side.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't know
you
either.
can
I always
type
just
in-
Google.
Items.
Fender.
You want me to just
And I
drag and
can
drop?
search?
I got you. I
Could
got
you please? I'm sorry.
Okay. You guys have to decide what you're doing. So I know you said you were-
Also, while we're getting him attuned to that sword, we should also make sure Benson attunes to those glasses instead of the orb.
I'm assuming he did that before bed.
I would assume so too, but I wanted to state it just in case.
I appreciate it. Good call, man. For real.
I'm
Definitely
gonna
good call.
pass. Thank you very much. I'm gonna pass out the some greater health potions. I'd like for everybody to have 3, at least. So, how many of you need 3?
I
I
don't
have
carry
7
any
healing
potions.
potions.
I'm
Okay.
a cleric.
Can I have one?
You want just one?
I have a bunch of healing spells now, but just one just in case kind of thing. If I
Alright.
need to. That's what I'm thinking.
Save a slot.
I will always take healing potions.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and give 5 to Andy, 1 to Chody, and 3 to Raya.
Cleric. This is an insult.
For
As I take them
9.
and put them in my bag.
Brett, you had some already, right?
Yeah, I have 7 healing potions.
Okay. Oh, John, you did a whole lot. Thank you.
quick note too. You could wield defender and sword of the council at the same time.
But I'll lose my gauntlets. AC.
All right. Would you? Oh yeah.
I
sword
have
of
to
the
be
Gauntlets,
holding
sword of
one
the hand.
weapon and nothing else.
That's right. Well, that being said, if you were to do that, you could gain defender's benefit. It's just the first time you attack. I think it's let me double check.
First time you attack with the sword on each
With
of
the
your
sword.
turns.
With the sword.
It's right there in the chat.
Yeah, you'd have to use your bonus action to make an attack with it instead of flurry. So no, bad idea. Because using it as an offhand weapon that gives you a +3 defense is pretty good.
So if
And
I'm
it only lasts for that turn. You have to reset it every time.
Yeah, you have to make an attack with it every turn as your bonus action.
But you couldn't just like go out and punch a tree with it, like +3 AC, and then just lock it in.
Just run around with it. Yeah, no, yeah, that's accurate. Sure.
That's bullshit.
Well, okay, if I'm using that in my offhand, I would still have at least a +3. Well, I'd lose the +2 from the gauntlets. But if I'm keeping that as a +3 just bonus, I'm still getting +1.
Yes, you would get a net +1 AC. But if you use just it, you would lose the Sword of the Council features, but you'd have the +3 AC potential.
That does sound better. I'm just gonna keep it as an armor stick for now.
Okay. However you want to do it. Yeah. How are we getting back?
Do we want to? We can either wind walk back, or we can do the plant teleportation.
Yep, either one.
I think we need to go Armskirk, where you guys have not been yet. Not
We
back
do
into
need
the
to talk
fens.
to Helgar.
Regroup with the council.
You could teleport to one of the trees near where the giant died, and then just walk the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's like a hex and a half.
Yeah, it'd be a 2-hour walk. Or you can wind walk, which, according to what I got here, would be, let's see, 155 miles. Better part of 6
31
hours.
hexes.
If you wind walk.
So I'm assuming, Andy, when we get to Armskirk, we'll probably spend at least a day there regrouping and starting up the new plan. So your
Cool.
spells would reset before we go back in.
Yeah, if we're gonna think about a battle, I would want to just prepare a heal. And I think that I prepared wind walk because I thought that was the plan coming into it.
That's fine.
I
Wind
can-
walk it up. So you wind walk to Armskirk. Go ahead and roll me 3d20 because there are still chances for a random encounter. You're not invincible while you're winding. But they're aerial combat, so there's less of a chance of it happening.
Glenn, 3d20. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
no problems. You fly over the Howling Hills,
Oh, yeah.
descend down past the northern portion of the kind of swamplands of the of Mudis, and you make your way down to Armskirk. Armskirk does appear to be a very fortified structure. From this vantage point, kind of descending down to it, Master Raya, you would note that the Comus Palatinus flags are not flying. The flags
they
of
can't
the
be.
Sharps, the Blue, and Dark Flame are all flying. But yeah, you land right into the center of the fortified town.
Real quick on that travel, do we happen to pass over anything we haven't seen before? Because that was a new line for us.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's check. Straight shot.
Generate any new icons. Yeah, I think it had to be.
Or whatever that is.
Yeah, you would fly over that. Actually, good point of interest. You would see this place here. That appears to be high up in the Howling Hills, a hill that seems to be taller than the rest, that has a number of black obsidian spires that kind of stand up in almost ring-like pattern. And it looks like in the center of it, there's a massive slab of obsidian that's kind of in the center of it, like a sacrificial altar of sorts.
It can't be good.
It doesn't seem to be a point of interest unless you're really interested in checking it out. Windwalk, I don't think you can renew it, but if you want to just kind of check the area, you can.
The last time we stopped and checked something, we had to fight a white dragon, didn't we?
Possibly, that might be true.
Maybe.
If you're beyond past that, continue. You will note that there does appear to be a very strange temple inside of the swamps. Surrounding it are network of wooden bridges that look like they've been kind of built out with very small, very simple wooden bridges that have been built out and around it. If you're familiar with Moors, like in the kind of concept of them kind of building out their little walkways, that's what you're looking at. It's like a spider web of them.
I was thinking Endor.
Yeah, except they're grounded. They're like right above the waterline. You'll note that this appears to be at a point where the river kind of flows towards it. The temple itself looks like it's stone, and it looks like it has kind of like a ziggurat-like base, but at the top of it, in its very kind of high point center, there is a statue of what appears to be a humanoid, but with like a snake bottom half, which is coiled, and it's kind of like up, hands up in prayer or like victory.
Like a snake person, or like one of the Medusa things, Gorgons, or whatever they are.
Snake lower half, human upper portion. You're not sure exactly what it might mean. You can make a nature or a history check.
Do I see this?
Yeah, everybody sees it. You're windwalking.
Can we all make the history check then?
29 history.
29 is really good.
Okay.
12 is not. 29 would report to you that it is more than likely a Yuan-Ti shrine. Yuan-Ti are serpent folk.
Yeah, those guys.
So would nature give anything different?
Nature would give something different. So, based on the circumstances, you would note that the marshlands give way to it being a Yuan-Ti shrine, but you would know with nature that Yuan-Ti are definitely a marshy kind of people. You would also know that they coordinate with creatures known as Naga, which are serpents with human heads. And these are, to you, creatures that you would know that would be in the Viren's woods, and you would assume would also be in these fens.
Would I know anything about their like religious habits? Are they draconic? Are they like?
No, they are absolutely anti-draconic. They are very
Okay.
tribal folk that kind of keep to themselves in an abundant kind of landscape. They're very territorial. They very much keep to themselves, but there are times that they actually afford relations with surrounding civilizations and will make transactional trade. It does look like, based on what you're seeing, there does appear to be a working path, a very wagon-capable, a wagon-bearing path that seems to head south. It's the main path, but there's hundreds of these paths that seem to network out of it into different places in the fens. To Armskirk, right? No one's stopping, just flying over, checking it out.
Right.
I don't know nature or history.
Same.
Never even heard of that stuff.
Oh, weird.
All right. So yeah, Armskirk. As I mentioned, the Comus Palatinus flags are not present.
Does that mean the Comus Palatinus are not present?
It does not look like they are here. It looks like they have migrated from this position. And based on your straight shot, make a perception roll.
Sure. 17.
You would not have seen them on your way here.
They probably attacked it already.
Yeah. Well, for who they are and what they're doing, it wouldn't make sense for them to go through the north anyway. They're here for the Iron Road, and there's no Iron Road there.
Right. So you land in Armskirk.
Hell yeah.
You appear. Everyone is very wary upon your presence, or your appearance, rather. But once you kind of manifest, the Dark Flame assistant, the Dark Flame commander, kind of moves towards Raya and kind of, makes gestures for everyone to kind of back off. The commander's returned. Master of Israel, the Comus
And the
Palatinus.
chieftain.
The Comus Palatinus have moved on the Black Fence. They have entered in. There seems to be a distressing matter that they were wishing to attend to. We offered our assistance. They stated that they would not need it.
Did they say what the matter was?
Yes. Apparently a missive, a message was sent by a noble inside of the fence. And they are attempting to recover the noble. As it is their charge to protect. We warned them against it. It did not seem like the smartest of plans, but as you were well aware, the knights were a bit foolhardy, and they did head into the woods.
They are eager. The noble in the woods, they already knew he was here. I don't believe he has the capability to send a message.
They did, and I also thought that might be the case, but according to what they stated, there are secret methods that the nobles and the merchant nobles know of, and they said that the message could not have been faked. I am not 100% certain as to the veracity of that statement, but they felt compelled to move into the woods. They headed north to where the attack on our people, reported by the individuals who made it back safely, by the way, that you tracked after them. You, I assume, have
The
done...
ones that didn't.
You assume I assume you have dealt with the Bastion then, and we are done here?
Incorrect. It was more than we could handle at the time.
I apologize for overestimating your abilities in that regard. I've seen you be very punctual and precise thus far, and I assumed that's what you were doing when you entered into the forest. That said, if Krista Gervester is here with you now, then of course you have the power to tramp into the woods and deal the mighty death blow to this horrid mage.
Damn right, Helga.
We're at full power. We're ready.
The chieftain's here.
How far ahead are the Comus Palatinus?
The Comus Palatinus made an entry, I want to say, this morning at first light. I assume that they're a good 3-4 hours in.
8. It took us 6 to get here.
Huh?
It took us 6 to get here.
Yeah, you left.
And I assume you left fairly early. So.
Yeah, they left at first light.
So they're like 8 hours in, not 3.
How are you? How's your math? You traveled at first light of the day at 6 in the morning. Like, it took you 6 hours from first light to get here. They left at first light. Yeah, there's 6 hours in at most.
Okay. Still not 2.
What if they were going fast?
Well, it took them 2 hours to get to where they entered in. So yeah, that's why I was
Did they withdraw all of their numbers?
Everyone,
or just the group that was here?
Everyone that was among the force here.
Then all of the other borders are unsecured.
Correct.
Cool.
Benson, do you want to try your crystal ball?
Hey,
No.
Going to take your glasses
No,
off?
I've already I've detuned from it. It'll take me time to retune to it. But I
just made up 2 words: detuned and retuned. I love it.
I like them.
Those are fine.
You can detune a guitar.
It works.
Yeah.
You can't detune a fish.
Heyo.
Inspiration.
All right. I've been putting out killers all day and detune a fish.
That shit was awesome.
I've been on fire all day.
That shit was awesome.
Andy, take that inspiration. I don't want it.
I have it, thanks.
Yeah, Brent.
I got it.
I also
picture.
have it.
Detune a fish. Jeremy, take that inspiration.
Hell yeah. Chody got one the other day.
Everyone's inspiration up. You're at full health, full spell slots, with the exception of a wind walk. Yeah, you're ready to go, right?
Let's just go in.
Yeah, not a fundus. Let's just go.
Are they still able to scry from this location, or could they only do it from Darkflame?
Only do it from Darkflame. The shaman was there. The blue tribe says that they can locate creatures, but they have to be close. So you know that you have those tracking mentality
Are
goblins.
Any of them casters?
Blue tribe's mainly caster types, yeah.
Let's give them the crystal ball. One of them can attune to it.
Okay.
And that'll give us eyes as we're walking, because they're a few hours ahead of us at least already. So that 1 hour attunement.
Like, you give him this very powerful magic item. He's like, okay.
That's what I was kind of like. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
What are we gonna do?
The
pretty sure we can get it back.
The Lulu tribe's leaders are blue-skinned goblins. The shamanistic leader of the group will be the one who takes the powerful magic item and will attune to it over the course of an hour.
Who are we going to have them track? I'm
Probably
assuming one of us.
I don't know.
Well, they don't know Galagus.
You can still make an attempt on it.
Yep. It's just
with
a really
the
shitty
description and
attempt. He will do so. And he says, because Galagos has been willing to allow him to be seen. So you see the blue goblin go, I see the Palatinus. Interesting. They are fighting. There's a goblet there. Interesting. They are fighting.
Goblet.
They are fighting.
I don't remember what it is.
That's the little guy. That's that little guy.
Are they winning the fight?
What's his name?
Commander is carrying Galagos. Galagos seems wounded. This one you seek, the one I can see mainly.
Spickle.
But the golden armor of the Comus Palatinus is unmistakable. They appear to be fighting giantkin. Green-skinned
Okay.
beasts. Oh, it's got bees in it.
It's got bees in it.
Bees?
They cut open one and the bees flew out of it.
I'm not
It's full
going
of
in there.
bees.
They're full of
I'm allergic,
bees.
guys. Sorry.
Guys,
Alright, boys.
we should surrender.
Back to Dark Flame.
Yeah, you remember from the fight
good.
with the mage that some of the creatures that were fighting alongside of him when they were killed would basically erupt into swarms of smaller creatures, insects and whatnot.
Is that a thing?
That was a thing, yeah. Pretty sure.
Does anybody other
I
than
don't
John
remember that at
recall
all.
this?
I don't remember this.
I remember us cutting down
ever.
like
When
4
did
of them,
we
and
cut
none of
something
them
open
happened.
and the bees poured out?
Nope, sorry. Well, no, you do see that. That is the thing he saw. That is the thing that
Okay,
didn't happen.
we've never encountered it. You confuse us with someone.
No, it's absolutely, it does happen. It is a thing. that
Okay.
happens.
It has not happened to this group yet.
Yes.
Holy
well,
shit.
no, it hasn't happened to anybody yet. It is something that's what's going to happen, but didn't happen.
Guys, there's leaks. He leaked it.
And it's happened. You got the leak. So
All right. Are there any members of the Blue Blues that can cast sending or message?
nope.
Cool. What's your guys' specialty outside of this orb that we keep?
Tracking.
So you have no means of getting information to us. You're just collecting the information.
We can track stuff.
Okay.
Get us on a path.
What if
You
we...
guys come with
You
us.
already know where it is, asshole.
What if there were new developments I'd like to know about?
So, yeah, they say like if you want them to start scouring, looking for the Comus Palatinus, they could find them. That's not going to be a hard sell for them or a hard problem for them. That's not even remotely an issue.
Should we beeline for the bee situation?
But you have
where Galagos is?
You have an idea of like where the Comus Palatinus entered. You don't know where they're at inside of the fens. You do also know where the Bastion is located. Is your goal to kill the mage, or is your goal to rescue Galagos?
Removing Galagos is
Rescue
supposed to be
Galagos.
the goal. I know there's
Nobody's
a person
happy about it.
we would all like that elf to be dead, but
I don't know that all of us. I know 2/5 of us don't
Well, then,
care for him.
If you're moving,
man, I'm on board with you for sure.
if you're moving in accordance to try and find and track the Comus Palatinus and they appear to have been successful in the rescue, then go ahead and just make me 2d20 rolls and a survival roll. And if you have 2 trained individuals, you can make your representative for survival can make that check with advantage.
We're gonna go ahead and
Survival
borrow
games,
another.
Andy
We're
and
gonna
Brett.
borrow a tracker to give us advantage.
Oh,
That's what
yeah,
we did last
absolutely.
time.
Absolutely. The blue will hang with you. And yeah, those were the ones with the big ass crossbows, by the way.
Hell yeah! Get some more of these guys dead.
Andy, roll the 20s.
How many?
2.
How long do goblins and the blue tribe live? 11 days!
It depends on how many of the company of the hand are present.
It was a dorky reference to Critical Role. Never mind.
That's
I loved it.
I
the
know Brent
40K
got it.
The
Well,
You got a 13 and a
40K
3.
guardsman?
No. But also, yes.
Isn't that like the average lifespan of a fully trained guardsman is like 11 days
Yeah,
or
once
something
they get into action.
ridiculously short?
Yeah. No, Chris Perkins, who's like one of the lead
I don't care
designers.
about him. Andy, you're our
Brent,
survivor
Brent,
guy,
thank
right?
you.
I love it. Yeah, it was great.
I'll send a link
13 and
later.
3.
13 and 3.
Yeah.
And a survival check with advantage.
Nothing. Yeah, give me the survival check, Grok, and
Okay.
nothing encounter. No encounters. Nothing crazy.
Just quick in and out.
Oy,
Just one adventure.
that's not good.
It's actually not terribly hard to track massive knights in golden armor, surprisingly, and you do happen to start tracking them very well. What you note is that their path diverts away from the path that you know to be the path towards the Bastion. Well, again, you saw it. You don't know its name, but out of character, I'll just refer to it as Bastion of Broken Claws, because that's what it's called. But you follow the Comus Palatinus. You do note that they were tailed by a decent-sized force. And if you make haste, I need one more d20 roll because you're kind of backtracking into the fence.
Brent!
2.
What's no? Oh yeah, okay, great. So you manage to get back to Armskirk, and when you are moving up on Armskirk, you'll note that a number of Comus Pilatinis have made it back. A number that seems to be a tenth of the number of Comus Pilatinis you remember being present. During your travel to this point, you will have noted that a lot of the Comus Palatinis fell in combat. But the thing that you notice most about this situation is not a single one of them is armed or armored. Their bodies were left in the muck, but it looks like they were completely stripped of all of their carving gear.
Gross.
What?
There are dead bodies. You recognize the people as being Comus Palatinis, but they are not wearing anything. They're completely naked. All the dead bodies you pass on the way tracking appear to have been stripped of all their
I assume
attire.
it's an honor kind of thing. Like,
A
oh, we
murder
can't bring your
hobos.
body back to your family, but we can bring your armor back to your family.
The body's probably laid in the armor, and somebody else is probably wearing their armor.
Yeah,
Pretending to be them.
You
their
would know
outfit
that
like their
Comus
own.
Palatinis armor is always enchanted, so it might be something that someone would want to have taken.
Okay.
But when you arrive back at Armskirk, you'll note that again, a very small
Yeah.
number of them have.
As we're approaching Armskirk and they're there, we have the blue blues because they said they're expert magic trackers. Pick one that they know and see if they're still in their own armor.
I think the living ones would still be in there.
So they would locate creature, and they would find that the individual that they specifically kind of keyed out is dead, and they find them not too far off of the path that you're moving on. They try to do it again a couple of times, and they kind of can't they either can't get a read or they find a dead body during the travel portion. If you do it like once you're right on Armskirk, they kind of think about it for someone they haven't already keyed off of, and then they track it. What the wizards will basically tell you is they're casting Locate Creature, which has a very short kind of like area of effect, and they're kind of pinging to the bodies or the like. That said, when you arrive back at Armskirk, you'll note that, again, a number that's probably a tenth of their strength that have remained, but you'll also notice that there are two individuals with them that are currently kind of sitting down on stools that have been made available for them. It looks like one of them is being attended to by a Comus Palatinis medic, and it looks like the other one is just kind of like shaking. He is a goblinoid, red skin, kind of, you've met him before. This is Spickle, who, again, you've met before. And Lord Galagos appears to be slipping in and out of consciousness and is being attended to by a medic while sitting on the stool. I'm going to
And
change
you
it.
guys appear to
I'd
be
like to
legit.
go over and try to ask if I could help.
The Palatinus medic says, I have tried several forms of cure magic and healing methods. I believe there is a poison within this individual, a poison that my spells have not been able to assuage. You can attempt whatever you'd like, Master of the Master Hand, but I do not know if you'll be able to do anything more than I have already tried.
Who is hurt? I'm sorry.
Eric
Lord
with a
Galagos.
K.
Okay.
I could also try to help.
You
Yeah,
need
I'll-
something that says it removes poison.
I'll do lay on hands and use the 5 to neutralize one poisoning affecting it.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
you place your hand upon him and you kind of, perform the task. As you're doing it, you kind of look to the healer and you would know that this individual is a hospitaler, which means that they are also a paladin, but focus more on the healing processes than the other oaths. And you can see his face kind of just go, like, annoyed, and you realize that whatever poison is afflicting this individual is beyond this capability. The lay on hands basically does nothing.
I'd like to cast Protect from Poison.
Okay. Similarly, nothing happens. And you can see that the hospitaler says, it's beyond my power as a healer. It seems that you are also using similar methods. Whatever is afflicting this individual seems to be a deeper, more primal magic.
Can I see if it's a curse?
It does not appear to be a curse.
What poisons do we know that can get past remove poison?
You and only you alone can answer that question with a history check.
Go ask your girlfriend.
My baby mama.
We saw you flying around on a romantic date.
Do you want to spend the inspiration?
Yeah, why not? I got it for free. 30.
Okay. There is one poison which cannot be blocked by immunity to poison. It bypasses even a god's divinity. It is a poison that can usurp any kind of defense. It cannot be blocked or cured by any type of magic. It is known as Ramanon's blood. And based on everything that you've seen so far in front of you, that is the type of poison that must be being used here.
If
What
someone were immune to poison, would they
is
still
that?
be
It
poisoned
is
by
a
it?
very legendary poison. It is not exactly something that you come upon very easily. Yeah, it slowly kills whoever's afflicted with it. Based on your very, very large history roll, anybody subjected to the poison has no more than a month to live.
Who has access to this kind of poison?
It is a very rare, very, very rare poison.
Give me 4.
The only reason that Lord Mishrael
Nobody
knows
else has ever
about
heard of it.
is because of his grace from Lamac and also his profession. Ramanon's blood is
My other grace, you mean?
Ramanon's blood is basically like epic tier, kind of like there might be, this much like in the world, and this was probably a drop that was utilized on this individual.
So the best situation to do would just be kill him and revivify him. Right? Because if he dies, the poison would go away, right?
But shouldn't we be asking why he's poisoned?
Hold on a second, Brooklyn. Based on that answer, or based on that question, think about it. The other magic wasn't able to remove the poison. Revivify and other spells would also remove the poison in a similar way.
Okay.
So think about that. You can try it. It's absolutely enough.
We're gonna let you die, then we're gonna let you suffer again.
I mean, I have an idea, but Galados, you awake? Can you hear me?
He seems to be slipping in and out of consciousness, and when he is aware, he seems to be kind of muttering.
I'll listen close.
Darkness. Schmickle, you've got to tell them. Darkness. The dragon.
What if we could help?
You breathe for a second. Spickle.
Yeah, we're gonna go talk to Spickle. You take a nap.
How you doing, bud? Long time no see, buddy. How you been?
Hey. He tips the pot. He wears a pot on his head, by the way.
I just
Throw
love
up the
that.
picture of Spickle. I'm missing.
Alright, let's see if I got him.
Yo, Spickle.
So while he's finding that, reincarnate would probably fix this problem because it forms a new body, right?
It does form a new body, but it also
You
gets rid of
guys
poison
are-
in the same fashion.
You guys are getting way crazy about your.
Murder him
He's
and
got
bring him
about
back.
a month to live. We're not that far from the capital. We can just ship this back and let them deal with it.
I hate to be that guy, but someone here knows how to take him out of his body and put him in a different one. If
I'm
we had
glad
to.
we were thinking the same thing. I was like, somebody go make a scarecrow. I
Bo's had
got
a
this.
Scarecrow in his backpack forever.
Yeah, I got this.
Well, doesn't reincarnate just your soul remains, but everything else is gone?
Yeah,
If-
that's
unless you're-
accurate.
If your soul is poisoned, is it soul poison?
We have a freeze.
I don't know, man.
Mm.
Go for it. Murder him. I don't care.
No. It's when he dies.
How do I not have a Spickle handout?
Yeah, you're thinking way different than me, Andy. I was thinking kill him and bring him back.
I want to see this guy again.
Is he being poisoned because he is one of the kings? He's a king's blood?
He's not.
No, he's not. His
He's not.
son is.
He just
it
counts
not
like
his son,
coin
is it?
or
Roderick is.
no, he's just
He's a merchant lord.
yeah, that's the one.
But yeah, Eric was never actually his father. He was just raising him.
I said
Yes.
adopted.
Said he was his son.
Roderick's way cooler than Eric anyway, but for whatever reason, we're supposed to rescue him, so I'm going to see this through.
Okay, so anyway, we scribed this guy yesterday, and he was found in a cage, and today he's poisoned. So he's got about 30 days.
Yeah.
This can be not our problem.
Based on what you saw in the tracking portion, there was a cell that was away from the Bastion that was broken open by the Comus Palatinus, and he was taken out of. And whatever guards were present were murdered, but there were no traces of them. There were dead bodies of Comus Palatinus, and all of their garb was taken, and all of their attire was taken.
Yeah, we'll ask one of the side guys about that. Why are they all naked?
They were what?
They've been stripped of their armaments.
Riot attacked.
Well, the Hierophant would remove their armors through a pull spell if they died, fell in combat. Their bodies would have been sanctified in that process. But you saw their bodies, they weren't devoured or eaten by the strange creatures?
They didn't appear to be. Did anybody else notice that?
A
Looking
blessing.
at the blue blues?
They're just left to soak in the mud.
A blessing. Octavius
Yeah,
shines upon their fate.
Hell yeah. So the armor's back in the capital.
It would be the case, yes.
Dope. Don't have to fight giants wearing skeleton armor. Neat. Would have kept the bees in anyway.
Yes, that was a strange circumstance to be sure. I did not expect the giantkin to
Here's my guy.
There he
explode in
is.
bees. That was,
What a good boy.
to be fair, pretty fucking metal, but we managed to get through it.
Yeah, shit's red.
I mean, it was pretty fucking rad.
How many of theirs did you manage to take down?
At least 40.
I don't know if that's a lot or not.
Good. 40 giantkin.
Oh,
How
you were,
many? How many did
were
they
you
have?
speaking as a company or just me alone?
Oh, nice.
All,
Rad.
all of them, bro.
Aye,
It was 40. It was 40.
definitely in the it was definitely in the hundreds.
A boy?
Good job.
I was carrying
Anyway.
Galago, so I only had the sword up.
When will the train be coming back through here to go to the capital?
The train is currently not running as it's stopped at Heartgrinder. The train doesn't move beyond Blackheart. We could send forward a message, if we have a means of doing so, to Blackheart in hopes of them sending the train on this way. I
Who
believe
is the highest ranking officer currently here?
me.
Do you carry a teleportation circle for the capital?
I am not a mage. I do not have a means for doing so. However, I can tell you, and he pulls his pauldron off, hands it to you. And inside you can see a circle glyph kind of enchanted kind of on it.
I don't even look at it. I understand what it is. That's not knowledge for me. Our friend here can put you, your company, and Galagos in the capital with this. And you can seek him treatment there. This is far beyond any of us.
Nods. That is a fair assessment. The the High Priestess should be able to, if not destroy this befoulment, at least stymie its work. It does appear that it is beyond our hospitalers' ability to heal.
So
Us as well. What's up?
never mind. Just keep going. I'm good.
Yeah, we could
I'm
just.
trying to find Eric's picture.
Now we don't
Yeah,
want
we
it.
don't need that.
Unless you're going to put the hole in it.
Like it's just bloody.
There was,
Yeah.
there was the edit I made with the Karen hair. Oh
Yeah.
The individual who wounded him in this fashion was a blonde-headed elf. in
Yeah.
strange
Oh,
leather
there we
armor
go. That's
with
a magic word.
Blue
Let's go kill an elf.
crystalline blade. I also tell you, I have been gifted with sight beyond sight, and there appeared to be a being
Which
residing.
castle do you come
Oh,
from?
Right, Lionel.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
They didn't have a cap.
Lido.
There did appear to be something following that mage, a strange spectral form
Yeah, we fought a couple of those
of
before.
a beholder.
Oh yeah, no, not that.
Ooh. That's not supposed to be there. Thought that was out east. Out of this
Alright.
game.
If we were to get this blue crystalline weapon, would that help in building an anti-venom or whatever they need
The
for?
Hierophant, I know not what. The High Priestess. Keep doing Hierophant. Hierophants are below High Priestess. The High
Yeah.
Priestess, I do not know if she will need anything. regarding this matter. But if you are able to use this circle's marker and teleport to the capital, then perhaps you can ask her yourself.
We will be sending you. We still have matters to attend to in the fens.
Gotta kill an elf.
That makes sense. Fair enough. Well then, let us prepare for that. Hospital.
If by your word he is allowed or permitted to inscribe that circle upon his own book, we can meet you there when we're done.
Looking to the hand of Mudas. If you are not welcome, you will be destroyed by the constabulary. You don't understand.
I'm sure we will be fine.
Very good.
Why would we not? Well, come on, we got this.
What I'm saying is you're not allowed to frequent this place at your leisure. This is a circumstance where I will be able to explain away your presence and your entrance. However, in the future, unless you are given specific passage by the High Priestess or the Hierophants beneath her, you will not be permitted this access, and if you attempt to attain it, you will be killed on sight.
Just for
Wait,
clarity,
is this a circle into the church itself?
Correct.
into the capital. So yeah,
I mean,
at
I'm the
current, he's permitted.
of Atavians.
Wrong, maybe the wrong church. I don't know.
Oh,
So
again,
he can activate this twice right now with permission. Once to send them and once to meet them there when we're done. Right?
you can send us. Regarding the second matter, you may need to go through with us to acquire that permission.
Send word to the High Priestess and have her glean our location and find a way to tell us whether or not we're permitted. If we find anything that we think can help with the poison, we'll do our best to get it there within 30 days.
I suppose that's fair. I will do my best to make sure that you are not murdered.
Appreciate it.
We'll do the same.
Well, you've done great so far.
I'm still the perpugnator.
Again, it's not a title he seems to be aware of. He does not seem to be
Would
noticed.
Kelreth make that up?
Well, no, he doesn't seem to notice. He doesn't seem to notice or recognize you, and you can make a history check to determine why that's the case.
Let's
if
throw
Calreth
away
gave it to
history
you, it
check.
might not count anymore
8.
based on who he was.
What'd you get?
8.
Okay. Oh, what was the what better are the two rolls?
8.
That's pretty high, right?
Pathetic.
Guys, I didn't min-max my character.
You don't know why they don't know who you are. But you also don't know much about... You do not know who they are. You also don't know much about the order of the Comus Palatinus to be able to kind of make any judgment calls.
Oh.
You know that they're pretty secretive order.
Fair.
Them being out of the capital like this is mainly because of the train. And you would know that that's not a normal...
Saying, like, here in a month and a half or so, I'm going to the capital anyway, so we'll iron this out.
Could end up there now.
I got a meeting then.
We got this fucking mage to beat the shit out of.
Got a thing to do.
But
see a Saryujan fella.
Galagos keeps complaining about the darkness, and as you're preparing the teleportation circle to send him through, the Comus Palatinus and Galagos and Spickle.
Wait, what did Spickle want to tell us? What did he want Spickle to tell us?
Oh,
yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, Spickle looks to you and says,
he said a word that was really strange. Just goes, now nefandis.
Uh-huh.
Who said that word?
I'm guessing Eric.
Point to Eric.
He said that, don't trust Lady Chrysager.
Yeah.
And he said, Wraithward. That's it. I don't know what that means.
We already have that info.
Oh, it's almost as if you'd come about this in a different path. It would have been actually necessary. Oh, whatever, bye!
High five.
So Spickle's going with him. He's going to try to seek treatment with the High Priestess.
Yes, and the High Priestess will be asked to allow you permission to re-enter or to
We're just
enter.
gonna have to count
Hey.
on the fact that we're allowed, and we're gonna go get a sample of that poison.
Are you telling us that we did things out of order and it's our fault for fucking around?
I didn't do
No,
that
no,
out
no,
of
no,
order.
no. There's no order. There's never been an
Are
order.
you saying we left someone suffering in the woods for weeks?
There's never ever been an order. There has always, always, always been a sandbox mentality here. Stuff is happening in the background as you continue your play, and you've missed quite a few things. Like, things have happened and kind of rolled over. Like, there was dwarfs that were dealing with ghosts that are all dead because it was a
Yeah.
quest line you got at the very first session and never
Cody and I
investigated
voted
at
for
all.
that one, but nobody else.
Nobody
voted.
ever
Is
went.
that the mountain snow thing?
That's the excavation site. The
Yeah,
big
the
letters
excavation.
near
The
the
Dwarven
barrow where you
excavation.
died. You were heading kind of that way, but then you went to
Wow.
the barrow and then the phalanx. And
We all
then,
wanted
probably
to do
wasn't
other
that
stuff
important.
instead.
yeah, then from phalanx to Mortis, and then from Mortis to back home. I believe then to the shrine to Bulwark.
That's too bad.
Kind of going to Dark Flame, never made it.
On to the Bastion.
On to the Bastion.
Finally.
Okay, so if that's the case,
Oh. He opens the circle.
you're going back
And
into the forest, but you now have a more direct route to the Bastion, which will require only one d20 roll. So give me a d20 roll for random encounters.
Cody.
Do we get to take full force, or is the company disbanding?
You can take the entirety of the force if you'd like.
I think that'd be beneficial.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Kind of their territory for a lot
It's
of them.
very difficult for the group to move in whole in the forest, and based on the size of the Bastion, your presumption is if it comes to an insertion, it'll probably be your group and your group alone that's really afforded that opportunity.
They'll cover the exits for us.
Yeah. Okay, no random encounters. So then next session, we will be starting at the mouth or the entrances, the outer exterior of the Bastion of Broken Claws, and we'll work our way in through there.
You know, we should teleport to Bellum, guys.
Oh, we haven't been to Bell in the autumn.
I hear it's really pretty there.
I do love Bellum in the fall.
I would like to go see my parents as
So,
well.
Why do you think
that
they
needs
call
to
it
at the
happen.
Bellum?
Bastion of Broken Claws. Next session, I'm going to name it something similar to that, and you're going to teleport to Bellum right off the bat.
I mean,
love
I
it.
haven't seen Fran in a long time. I'd like to go to Buddhist.
Let's go to Muda's.
Oh, Fran is cool.
Fran
I
is
miss
cool.
Fran.
You should just
should
name
we
the session.
declare-
I have no freaking idea where they're gonna go.
Fuck these guys.
Spin the wheel.
This session's name is, I don't know, man. Wait till the start.
I had no idea. If you okay, so someone rolled a 5, which is like a legendary item on the random possibility in Bonrock, and I was
That
like,
me.
okay, great. How do I work this in narratively? Because like I know there are things
I thought
happening.
the auction thing was cool.
Yeah, I thought there were, but I knew there were things happening in Bonrock at the time, and I was like, I guess I'll just put them in it. And yeah, that's what happened. Anyway,
Jeremy buddy with Golthias.
Hell yeah, I got a new friend.
Well, I mean, maybe he'll ask you to murder party members for a different game. Anyways, we'll talk about that next time. See you next session.
I'm on board. I'm available.
End the stream. Thanks for watching.